Imagine walking into a bank you own, yes, your bank, and being told you don't have enough funds to make a simple withdrawal. That's exactly what happened to a woman named Ava Reynolds. When the teller smirked and refused to give her money, they had no idea who they were talking to. But Ava wasn't just any customer. She was the CEO of the entire banking corporation. And when she revealed who she really was, let's just say that smug teller and their manager learned a very expensive lesson that day. Ava Reynolds wasn't your average CEO. She'd built her career from scratch, starting as a bank teller in her early 20s, working nights, studying finance, and eventually climbing the corporate ladder through sheer grit. After 2 decades of dedication, she became the CEO of EverTrust Financial, a regional bank chain with over 100 branches. She was respected, humble, and known for treating every employee fairly. But she also believed in testing her system from time to see how her employees treated ordinary customers. That's why, one quiet Thursday afternoon, Ava decided to visit one of the smaller EverTrust branches, disguised as just another customer. Ava drove to a branch she'd never personally visited before, in a mid-sized town outside Chicago. She dressed casually, jeans, sneakers, and a cozy cardigan. No makeup, no jewelry, nothing to suggest she was a multi-millionaire CEO. When she walked in, the branch was quiet. A few tellers were chatting behind the counter, and a man in a suit, probably the manager, was scrolling through his phone at the corner desk. Ava smiled and walked up to the counter. "Hi there," she said cheerfully. "I'd like to make a withdrawal, please." The young teller, a woman in her mid-20s named Tiffany, looked her up and down. "Sure. ID, please." Ava handed her driver's license and debit card. Tiffany glanced at them, then frowned. "You want to withdraw? How much?" $20,000, Ava said politely. Tiffany raised an eyebrow. $20,000? From this account? Yes, Ava said calmly. It's a business account. Shouldn't be a problem. But Tiffany's smirk told Ava exactly where this was going. Tiffany sighed dramatically. "Ma'am, I don't think you have that kind of balance in this account." Ava smiled. "I assure you I do. I checked it this morning." Tiffany typed for a few seconds, then shook her head. "Nope. I'm not seeing that here. And even if you did, withdrawals of that amount need special approval." "That's fine," Ava said. "You can get your manager's approval." Tiffany leaned back, clearly enjoying herself. "He's busy. And besides, I can tell you right now, we're not authorizing a withdrawal that large for someone who's not even one of our premium clients." Ava blinked. "Excuse me." "You heard me," Tiffany said. "We have VIP customers, people with verified business relationships. We can't just hand out cash to random walk-ins." That word, random, stung. But Ava stayed calm. "So, you're refusing my withdrawal even though my account is valid and has funds?" Tiffany shrugged. "I'm following policy." Ava smiled politely. "All right then, may I please speak to your branch manager?" Tiffany rolled her eyes and yelled across the room, "Hey, Mr. Collins! This lady says she wants 20 grand from her business account. Can you tell her we don't do that?" The manager, a man in his late 30s, walked over slowly, adjusting his tie. "What's the issue here?" Tiffany smirked. "She's trying to withdraw $20,000 from this account." Ava handed him her ID and card again. "Yes, and I'd like to make that withdrawal, please." He gave her a tight smile. "Ma'am, I think there's been a misunderstanding. This branch doesn't keep that much cash on hand. We'd need a few days' notice for something like that." Ava nodded. "That's understandable. But I can accept a cashier's check instead." The manager frowned. "I don't think we can issue a check that large without verifying your business credentials. What company did you say this was for?" "Reynolds Capital," Ava said. His eyes flickered, just for a moment. That name was famous in the finance world. But before he could connect the dots, Tiffany muttered, "Yeah, right. Like she owns a company with that name." Mr. Collins forced a laugh. "Look, ma'am, maybe you should check with your real bank. If this is a misunderstanding, we can't risk fraud." Ava took a deep breath. "You're suggesting I'm committing fraud?" Tiffany crossed her arms. "We get people like you all the time, pretending to have business accounts. We're not stupid." People in the lobby started glancing over. Ava could feel eyes on her. She was being humiliated for trying to withdraw her own money. Still, she kept her composure. "All right," she said softly. "If that's how you feel, then I'll call someone from headquarters to verify my account." Tiffany smirked. "Go ahead. Maybe they can explain how banking works." Ava stepped aside and dialed a number. Within minutes, the branch's corporate line rang. Mr. Collins answered, putting it on speaker. "This is EverTrust Branch 42, Manager Collins speaking." "Hello, this is Hannah from Corporate Client Relations," said a voice on the other end. "I just received a call from Ms. Ava Reynolds. She's at your branch right now. Is everything okay?" Mr. Collins froze. Yes, she's here. She was trying to make a large withdrawal, but we were verifying her identity," Hannah interrupted, her tone sharp. "You do know who Ms. Reynolds is, correct?" He hesitated. "She's a client." There was a long pause. Then, Hannah said firmly, "She's your CEO." The room went silent. Every head in the branch turned toward Ava, who was standing calmly by the counter. Tiffany's mouth fell open. Mr. Collins went pale. Ava stepped forward, her voice calm but icy. "So, am I still a random walk-in who doesn't qualify for a withdrawal?" Mr. Collins stammered. "Miss Reynolds, I had no idea." She raised a hand. "No, don't apologize to me yet. Apologize to the people who walk into this bank every day and get treated like garbage because someone didn't feel like helping them." The tension in the room was electric. Tiffany looked like she wanted to disappear. Ava continued, "I built this company on customer trust. But apparently, that's just a slogan on your brochures." Mr. Collins tried to explain. "It's just policy, ma'am. We were following procedures." Ava's tone sharpened. "Policy doesn't mean disrespect. It doesn't mean assuming someone's lying because of how they dress." Then she turned to Tiffany. "You said I wasn't a premium client. Would you say that again?" Tiffany shook her head, whispering, "I'm so sorry, Ms. Reynolds. I didn't know." "That's the problem," Ava said quietly. "You shouldn't have to know who someone is to treat them with basic respect." Within minutes, Ava called her assistant to send over documentation confirming her identity and authorizing the branch to issue her withdrawal, plus something else. "Effective immediately," she said to Mr. Collins, "you and your staff will be scheduled for mandatory customer service and ethics retraining. I'll also be visiting other branches, unannounced, to see how clients are being treated." Mr. Collins nodded nervously. "Of course, ma'am." Ava wasn't done. "And Tiffany's eyes widened. "Yes, ma'am. I don't believe in firing people for one mistake. But you will spend the next month shadowing our community outreach team. Maybe you'll learn what it feels like to serve customers who don't have millions in their accounts but still deserve your respect." Tiffany's face turned red, but she nodded. "Yes, ma'am. I understand." Word spread fast. Within a week, every branch of EverTrust had heard the story. Employees started treating customers with a new level of care. Some even posted signs that said, "Every customer matters." Ava didn't want revenge, she wanted change. So she launched a new initiative called Project Kindness. It rewarded employees for outstanding service, not just sales numbers. And guess what? Within 3 months, customer satisfaction scores skyrocketed. EverTrust became known not just for its financial strength, but for its heart. A few weeks later, Ava received a handwritten note at her office. It was from Tiffany. "Ms. Reynolds, I just wanted to thank you for not firing me. Working with the outreach team changed how I see people. I met families who struggle to open basic accounts and realized how important kindness really is. I'm truly sorry for how I treated you that day." Ava smiled, folded the letter, and placed it in her drawer. She believed in second chances, and Tiffany had earned hers. Months later, Ava visited that same branch again, this time as her real self, in her professional attire. When she walked in, Tiffany was at the counter. She smiled warmly and said, "Welcome to EverTrust, Ms. Reynolds. How can I assist you today?" Ava grinned. "Just checking in. How's everything going?" "Better than ever," Tiffany said. "And thank you for teaching us the value of seeing people, not just accounts." Ava nodded. "That's what real banking is about." Then she walked out, the afternoon sun glinting off the bank's glass doors, symbolic, almost poetic. Because sometimes, the brightest lessons come from the darkest moments. The truth is, respect costs nothing, but its absence can cost everything. Ava didn't raise her voice, she didn't threaten anyone. She simply let her title, her integrity, and her example do the talking. And in the end, she didn't just teach one branch a lesson, she changed the entire company culture. So tell me, what would you have done if a bank denied your withdrawal like that? Would you have kept calm like Ava, or gone off on them right there? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more powerful stories of karma, justice, and real-life lessons.